Hey everybody, it's LavenderTowne, and today I'm turning nostalgia into nightmares by taking some of my favorite childhood games and making them scary. So first I actually wanted to start with Papa from Papa's Pizzeria or Papa's Freezeria. Now the Papa series started off as flash games that you could kind of just play in the browser, though there have been some re-releases that you can actually get on Steam. I have primarily played Papa's Freezeria, and basically for this design I just wanted to make Papa a really scary sort of like secret killer type. Papa's Pizzeria is probably one of the most famous iterations of the Papa's games, and so I wanted to show him with this giant pizza cutter that doesn't seem to be covered in marinara sauce. I also wanted him to look ultra shredded and just lean into some of the elements of his design that is already scary, such as his whited out eyes. That's just the art style of Papa's Freezeria, but I thought I would keep it. I also gave him a little tattoo. This is actually an onion, which you find in Papa's Freezeria, which is strange because you're primarily making milkshakes, but this creepy little purple onion comes up a lot, and there's even an onion festival, so I wanted to include the unsettling stare of the onion on his bicep. And other than that, I'm just basically going for, you know, your standard possible cannibal restaurateur. I also have the scoop in his other hand, which it appears he's scooped somebody's eyeball out with. You know, just your classic like nightmare vision of a chef, I suppose. His apron is also spattered in marinara sauce, perhaps? I don't think so. So my idea for the story of a Papa's horror game is it would start just as normal, where you're a new employee to some kind of restaurant that Papa runs, but over time the ingredients would start to get a little bit more weird. Throughout the progression of the Papa games, particularly in Freezeria, which is the one I've mostly played, you're constantly unlocking new ingredients, and it's usually something like, you know, a drizzle or a new whipped cream, or, you know, some kind of flavoring to put in with the ice cream. But in this version, you would eventually get stuff like a red syrup that is like cherry question mark. You would get strange complaints. And some of your customers would seem to have an eerie sense about them, like this is a secret cannibal's haven. That's just my idea. It's a little bit creepypasta, a little bit corny, but I think it would actually be quite fun. I would love to see someone actually try to make a game like that, where it starts off as one of these like fun, relaxing flash games and eventually devolves into utter madness. Yeah, so here he is. He's looking a little more intimidating than usual. He's definitely been at the gym. I hope you guys enjoy. Next up, I wanted to do something Neopets themed because this truly was my childhood game. I still love Neopets. I still log in regularly. I was really obsessed with the fairies when I was younger. I think that fairies automatically, they have like a cutesiness and a glamour to them, but they also have this history that makes them kind of spooky and scary. You know, throughout history, especially in like Celtic myth and stuff, fairies are always up to no good, and sometimes it's with very serious consequences. So I thought that using one of the fairies would be a good idea from Neopets. I decided to go with Elucin because if I stuck with Jadora, she's already a kind of scary character. There's something going on between these two beyond just hating each other, I swear. Because she is an earth fairy and she loves nature, I wanted to lean into the scarier or more brutal parts of nature as the way to bring out the horror in this character. So since she really loves the natural world, I imagined her as sort of a carnivore who sees no problem with ripping into the flesh of her prey, and I thought that that would very quickly take her to a much creepier place. So under her hands, I kind of just drew a real mush of meat and bone. I didn't want it to look too much like any particular person or Neopet, but rest assured it was some kind of living, breathing animal or creature or something not too long ago before she got her hands on it. I think it would be scary if, because she's a fairy, she kind of sees like humans as lower animals than herself, and so she finds no problem with dining on them. She considers it just natural, a predator-prey relationship. And I do already think think that the fairies are kind of menacing in Neopets, because oftentimes my pets get sick from like spinning the wheel, or there's just a lot of random misfortune can happen from dealing with the fairies, even if they're usually helpful. So I really liked doing this and taking this approach. I really kept pretty close to her actual design and really just changed up what she's doing and drew her in my style, of course. But I think that some of this Neopets art still has so much appeal. I really love it. If you still play Neopets, let me know, because honestly it's extremely like old and degraded at this point. Like there's a lot of different pages that suddenly snap back to like the old style of web coding and stuff, and there's a lot of links that don't work, but I still have so much nostalgia for this game. I just can't stop playing it. So yeah, if you're still on Neopets, please let me know. Next up, we're going to make Toadette scary. Now, Toadette's been in a lot of nostalgic and cute kids games. I've been seeing her a lot recently because I've been playing Mario Party Jamboree, and she often plays the CPU who gets miracle stars out of hidden blocks, and she's just been an absolute menace, so I definitely wanted to draw her. I had two kind of main ideas for what direction I was going to take this one. First, I wanted to change her mushroom type to make her look scarier. The inky cap is the obvious choice. It's a mushroom that really does look like ink is dripping down from its cap, and it looks super scary. I knew right away I wanted one of her eyes to just be dripping this inky substance, and I think that that will be really effective. I want to try to keep a lot of her like roundness still intact, even though I do think she'd look much scarier spindly, but I mainly want to focus on changing up the color palette so she looks a lot creepier. And I did want to include her headlamp because I think this also implies finding her in a dark space, and I think that would be very terrifying. This old retro headlamp really makes me think of being deep in a cave, deep underground, and I think that if you caught her toddling towards you with her drippy black substance coming down from her cap and her one good eye, I think you would be quite creeped out. I also changed her little like neckerchief thing that she has in the reference below into kind of like a white rope. I just thought it would be very spooky and weird if she had a rope tied around her neck. I don't exactly know what the story is there. I don't want to get too dark with it, but I do think that even just changing up this color palette and making her a little bit more like weirdly detailed. She's of course rendered very smoothly and cutely like an adorable little game piece normally, so giving her more like spatter of like, you know, kind of texture up on her cap I think makes her look scarier. And of course, yeah, changing this color palette to be kind of this sickly gray white and this deeper purpley pink mauve kind of color I think makes her look super scary. I played around with her expression quite a bit. I couldn't get happy with it for a while, but I think this really wide smile with her closer together eyes is probably the best pick here. And then of course she's just sort of reaching out towards you. It's unclear what she wants. She kind of looks like she's asking for you to pick her up, which kind of makes her look cute again to me, but I often struggle with making characters I'm trying to make horrifying a little cute still, so let me know how you think I did. So here are my 3 like childhood ruining nostalgia nightmares. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Please let me know if you have any ideas for others that you want to see in the future, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much to my wonderful patrons and members, including Honey Kitten 18, Pink, Novel Goblin, West Art Channel, Loro, Data, Random World, Lily McFarlane, Artist James, Jamie C, Yume Lily, Skitten, Gold Pikachu, Among Us Skibbity, Aurora Morgan, Becca, Anastasia Evsiva, Kobe Octo VT, Viet, Graveyard Moss, Grexius, Maddie Momo, Brandon Stark, CB, Luciana Majiki, Liv, Ravenscrow, Zocelot, T-Hill Music, Jabber Dabber Doo, Kadaria, Astral Fox Art, The Expressive Poker Face, Tsubaki, Cutie Pie, Ice Cream Pal, Cola, JJ Jade, and of course, blah 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 blah.